Hello, hello. It's Amory Julian Wetzel, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me and watching Create and Craft with Amory. I'm just going to line up my computer a little bit. A little bit of glare. Hopefully that'll go away. So, hello, hello. Let me know if you're here. Making sure that I am on. I am. Looks good. All right. So tonight you can see a bunch of product that I'm going to use. We're actually going to show something that is brand new coming out in May. So I'm going to get you excited a little bit about some of the product that's coming up. But you will be able to do your create and craft using all of your own stash. Hello, Linda. Hello, Barbara. Welcome. Hello, Maria. So we will get started. I think I actually might be on time right now. So, all right, let's get started. All right. So tonight I am highlighting the Cheers and Sips paper along with the dies. And I have some really cool things to show you. It's really fun to see what they've done with these dies along with the paper. So I'll bring that out in a little bit. We're going to use the Painted Stripes stamp set. And then I am using tonight the Textured Notes and Dies. So these are currently available. So is the Painted Stripes currently available, along with the Everyday Arches dies. That is available. So those are the products that we're going to use. Colors we are using as Calypso Coral, the new Darling Duckling. I think that's what it's called. Darling Duckling, yep. And then the Poppy Parade. So that is what we're going to create for you. And we want to give you a sneak peek of what we're going to do. So here is the card that we are making, and it is an easel card. So it opens up and it stands up. And this one says, "Cheers, let's celebrate." So before let's get started, let me just show you just some of the cool things that this die does along with the paper. So the paper here, let me just set these aside here so you can see the paper. So this is one of the pieces of paper. I just cut a strip out, but if you can see all of the different holes in there, that is because I was able to cut them out with the dies. So let me just show you without losing all of my pieces here. But here is one of the pieces. They cut out right here, so there's another one. So the die fits that. Here's another piece. So these smaller items, if you're not wanting to cut and you want some of the detail without having to color it yourself, look at this. Even, let me just dump these all out here. I'm going to be needing these cups here. So even the cups, it still didn't come out here. The little cherry, how cute is that? The little strawberry, and even the little blackberry. So the dies fit this paper and cuts out. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. I'm just going to put these back in here because you know me, I'm going to end up losing them. And let me just show you the dies real quickly. Hopefully I did not lose connection, maybe for a quick second. But here are the dies, right? So it does come with an umbrella. Here are the twigs and snips. There's the strawberry, the cherry, the blackberry. This is for an olive. I did not do the olive. And this here would be used for, you know, if you go and you have the, I guess like a cut crystal glass or whatever, or the detail in that. But how fun would this be to use on vellum and then overlay that of your glass? I thought about that after the fact, but we'll have to play around with that and see how that looks with that, that detail. But again, all of these items are all cut out here. And then this paper also I used to cut out. So I just took that smaller glass and I cut it out on here, and then I stamped it. This one's cut out from the actual paper. So here I cut it out from the actual paper. You can also do these with the actual, the other size glass. So again, really cool things with this Celebratory Sips. That's what it's called, Celebratory Sips. All right, so let's get this out of your way. Put these in here and we will start making our super easy easel card, but it's not actually easy. The card itself may be easy to put together, but some of the other things that I'm going to be showing you are not so easy. So again, on this card here, I used those arches. So I kind of liked the look of this, especially for like, it's the shape of a glass almost, right? Like a wine glass. So I used that. I'm doing the stripes on the background. Now I created the main one, but we still have to do this piece down here. So I will show you how I did that, quick and easy, how you got the multiple colors there. So let's do that now. Let's get that going now. And this is a cling stamp. So I am going to take my 3 colors with my dauber. So again, I'm going to start out with Calypso Coral. I am not going to do, for this, I did this whole thing with the daubers and the different colors. Here's the Calypso Coral, the Darling Duckling, and then the Poppy Parade. But because I only need a small one, I'm only going to do these center ones here, and then we'll put that down. So I'm going to start out with the Calypso Coral. All right, here's the Calypso Coral. And again, these ink pads are so juicy. So this is just going to take a little bit of time to just daub this up. And then the Darling Duckling. And I'm trying not to tap it into the other. I don't want to contaminate. My ink pad with the other color. All right, and then let's do the Poppy Parade. This will be the bigger one here. Super easy to cover this way because it's such a large cling stamp and it's on a larger block. So you would need to get a larger block for this one particular stamp. But this is such a fun. I've seen so many ways of doing this, but I kind of liked using all of the different colors here. So again, I am going to take my cardstock now. You know what, I'm going to actually just do a little bit more in the center here. Okay, I think we're good, but I'm going to lay this down. And actually have a brayer here. I am just going to run that And there we go. So we have that. I probably should have gone a little bit more over to the edge, but I'm totally fine with that. We should be good. Close these up so I don't get ink anywhere else. Put these daubers aside there. So to clean this, I'm just going to actually take an old scrap piece of paper and take off my excess that way. And then take my chamois and clean it with a chamois. So nice and clean. You want to make sure you clean this, especially when you're going to use multiple colors, because again, if you don't clean it, it will contaminate it. So, all right, so we got that block out of the way, set that aside. All right, so we have this piece here, and tell me I forgot to cut a piece. I think I did forget to cut a piece. All right, I'm gonna end up probably having to get a cut a piece. So this is the Poppy Parade. I'm doing this. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And we are going to score this. Again, I will have all of the instructions on how to create this card for you in my post. But again, this is cut at 11, 4 1/4 at 11. So we're gonna first score it at 5 1/2, which is halfway. And then we're going to take it, this panel here, the 5 1/2, and score that in half, and that's at 2 3/4. And I know I am a little bit below, so you can't see me fully scoring, but trust me, I'm scoring. All right, and then while I have this out, let me get another piece of the Poppy Parade. I'm gonna need this Poppy Parade. Oh, that's actually not Poppy Parade. Here we go. Okay. So we are going to score this, or not score, cut this at 5 1/4. Nope, I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. All right, I think I'm done with my cutting, but just in case, I'm going to set my trimmer over here. Okay, so we're going to complete this part. Now, I've already cut this down. Again, I pre-stamped this with that striped block, and I am going to adhere this with my tape runner. Where did my tape runner go? I'm losing it. I am absolutely losing. Honestly, I was so organized here. And oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. All right. So this is cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. All right. And then here again, I am going to score this. I already scored it, but I'm going to fold it where I scored it. And this is how the card is going to lay. We also have a piece of white daisy, which I thought I had cut also, but have no fear, I'm going to cut another piece. So what happens, I was actually really early with my prepping today. This one here, I'm going to cut down. This is going to go on the inside. And this is going to be cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And that's going to go on the inside. So we'll get that cut or placed on the inside here. And then that piece that we just colored, here it is. Here it is. We're going to put right along here. So let's put this down. And again, I'm just centering this. And the reason I cut it a little bit short is because when I have it closed, I don't want any of the white showing. So I just wanted to put that down, and we're going to put that inside there. This is not going to get popped up. Okay, so you can see how it's going to be coming together. This will end up coming, and we'll put it right on here, and we'll put the adhesive here. But let's decorate the front of our panel here. So again, I love how these are stitched, and they have all the different sizes. Again, this is the Everyday Arches, which is currently available. I was not sure if I mentioned that before. So we have that here. Thanks, Becky. I do. These are fun colors. So for the inside of here, I am going to use the Poppy Parade, and I'm going to stamp Cheers, but I need to get that stamp out. So again, this has Cheers to you, to us, it's your day, and let's celebrate. So I am going to do the Cheers first. And then I'm going to stamp the Celebrate. Such a fun, cheerful card. All right. So I am going to stamp that right on the bottom here. And again, take my scrap piece of paper, which I have over here, and clean with my chamois. Okay. So we'll put that back here. And then I have the Let's Celebrate. And I should be using the right size blocks, but I have a class this weekend, and I actually have packed all of those items away, which I'll need for my class. All right, so we're going to do Let's Celebrate. So again, think of all the different occasions that we can use this for. All right, so we have those stamped. Set that aside. We can adhere this. So I'm just centering this. And again, this is the Textured Notes dies. Again, I love all the nested dies, but here you can see there's lots of different designs on here. So you can see those textures. Hopefully you can see that here. I think that is all of the stamping that we're going to have to do for that. All right, and now let's get our little pieces out here. All right, so we have a couple of different glasses here, but I actually have cut a little bit of a line in there. So let me get the umbrella together. So here's the umbrella. So I just took this out of one of the pieces of paper from the Celebratory Sips. And then here is the pick for like the olive and stuff. But I'm just using that. And we will put that on here. I'm just gonna. So. All right, so I'm going to show you what I ended up doing. And it should go in there. Okay, so I did not want that stick. Oh, let me just line this up a little bit better. So do you see, I just cut a little slit there so that falls behind the drink. And how I did that is I just took one of these mats that is a self-healing mat, and I just took my little my little blade knife and just cut a little bit of a hole in there. I also did it with the next item too. I also did it with the little mint leaves for here, and just cut a little bit of line in there and then stuck that behind there as well. So it just didn't look right to me if it's stuck in the middle of the glass. I didn't want to see that. So, all right. So let's put some adhesive on here. More adhesive. It's actually sticking to my finger, so that's why it's lifting up. All right. And then for this one, I am going to use some adhesive tape. I have some old adhesive tape here. That. Now these two here, again, I cut that out of the paper that had the kind of like the rectangle, multicolored rectangle shapes in that. So I just cut those out on here, but then I took the stamp and stamped the outline just to give it a little bit more dimension on that. I'll use that for something else. But here is that lemon. And if I did this lemon, if I chose to do this lemon, I think I would cut a slit here and tuck that behind as well. But here, I'm going to put the little strawberry. So cute. And I'm going to do the little blackberry. There. Oh, let's move him down a little bit. All right. So we are almost ready. And I want to pop this up as well. So I'm going to add some 3D foam tape or to give it some dimension. Again, if you actually had any imperfections doing this, you're going to cover up the middle of it, but I was happy with the way that came out. All right, so again, added some dimension on here. And again, I am going to mount this. So what I'm just going to do is add my adhesive here to that part and line that up. Right to the bottom and from side to side. All right. So we are almost there. We just have to give this something to hold this in place. So this is going to need some foam tape as well. All right, I have another card to show you too. So again, your creative activity, I hope you do choose. We only have so far for last week's creative activity 2 people that have participated. And I felt it was fairly simple request. You didn't have to do the template that I use, the layout process, but what I was hoping for everybody to either create a layout for family or a card that you would give somebody to your family and your family. So that is it. Use your stash. But here we go. And we have that card that sets up. I am just going to score. I did not. There we go. When you, there we go. Cute, cute. All right, so we have 2 cards here. Now for this card, I used Cherry Cobbler. I mean, the cardstock and the options for this, because it's such a colorful paper set. But this was Cherry Cobbler on here with the poppy, but Blackberry Bliss, I think it would look pretty awesome on with this paper. And then again, there's that Lemon Limeade, I believe it's called. Lemon Lime Twist. Those colors, and then, you know, again, we saw how the Calypso Coral goes with this, and then the Darling Duckling. So lots of options here. So again, your creative activity would be to create an easel card. Any type, any decor, any way you want. Again, this set won't be available until, I believe it starts May 6th. And let me show you one more card. So this is another card that I created. And this is using the, oh, now I can't remember. I'll have to post it because that also is actually set. This is one of the projects that everybody's going to be making tomorrow. So here is Happy We Are Friends. I think it's Spring Corners. That's what it's called, Spring Corners. So you brighten my day. And this paper is the Everyday You and Me. I absolutely love this paper. The Scrapbook Workshop is amazing, and I had to get more of this paper because I'm just in love with the color combos and all that it has to offer with the ombre and everything. So again, create an easel card for this week's creative activity and post it by next week. And if you are watching this afterwards, put hashtag replay. And if you are watching this from YouTube, or if you haven't joined my YouTube, go to Create and Craft with Anne-Marie and my YouTube channel. Watch all of these videos there because this video is only going to last for 30 days on Facebook. So then everything will be available to watch on YouTube. And then if you are on YouTube watching and you have not joined my private group and would love to participate in our creative challenges for a chance to win, come on over to Scrap and Roll. Thanks so much. I hope you've enjoyed making or watching me make this card and learning all about the celebratory sips. Have a great night. Thanks so much. Bye.